What's it giving? Is it giving setup? Did I just almost get set up? Like, are y'all trying to set me up? Yeah. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all read that? Y'all read that title right? Yeah. Hey, it's me, Jaylene. Ooh, I like this. Do y'all like this? It's like a story time spot, or is it giving come down? Hold on, let me fix this. Okay, y'all. Cute. I like the hair. Okay, let me. I can already tell this video might be a little bit all over the place. I kind of want to like prevent that as much as I can. Oh, this is real cute. I like this. I like this a lot. Okay. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Princess Jay. I'm back with another video. You guys read that title right. I'm going to be doing a story time today. Now, before I get into the story time, disclaimer, this really isn't to like stir up anything. I just feel like I know for a fact that I'm not the only one that has dealt with the weird situation. And do not mind my nails, y'all. I know I need to get them done. Bear with me. But yeah, I just know I'm not the only one that has dealt with weirdness when it comes to friendships. So I know a lot of you guys do look up to me. So I want to take this moment and this opportunity to put it all on the floor. Now, but for real though, so that you guys can learn from me and learn what not to do and learn what to do. And pretty much that's it for the disclaimer. If you are watching this, no bad blood. This is literally just a story time. Yeah, you live and you learn. I don't hold anything against you. You know, I believe that people can change. You know, power for the people. So although I am going to be telling a story, I don't want y'all to look at this as something negative. We all can live, learn, and we grow, you know? So I hope that's a good enough disclaimer. If not, don't beat me up because I am not getting in the field. But I just wanted to say that I'm really not trying to be bashful or anything like that. We live and we learn. We are all human. We're not perfect. As long as you're working and you're striving towards something. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. Y'all read this title right. In my head right now, the title of this video is gonna be the weirdest friends group ever. But I feel like I've encountered way weirder people than this experience that I'm about to dive right into. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna save that for another video. But for a fact, this story I'm about to get into, I don't know if this is the weirdest. That's just the only like title I could come up with. So yeah, let's do a thumbnail. No. Before I even start, this is definitely not going to be one video. It's probably going to be a series. So let's see if we can get this video to 3 to 5K likes in order to get part 2, okay? We got this. Without further ado, for the 50th time, we're going to get straight into it. Okay, so for the young ladies that we're going to be discussing today, I'm going to give them the name Fanboy and Chum Chum. And I'm not trying to be funny, like I literally just used to love Fanboy and Chum Chum. Like that used to be my jam. If you know, you know. Now y'all, so I actually met Fanboy through Instagram. I really think she was a J baby. Now that I think about it, what I really think about it, her siblings were J babies, and like she followed me on Instagram. Nothing wrong with this, y'all. J babies, we can lock in, we can be friends. I just might be a little hesitant just because of this story time. But yeah, so I met Fanboy through Instagram. She would always like DM me, and I never would like see some of her DMs. But one day I saw her DM. I posted some food or whatever, and she was like, "Girl, you need to cook for me. Let me come over." Something along them lines. Not sure what exactly she said, but pretty much she was trying to like be my friend by doing that. And I was like, okay, period. Let's do it. Like, I was like, yes, like I don't know what exactly I said, but I said something like, period, like one day, something like that. So boom, brushed it off. We never like linked after that. We never did nothing. But then Fanboy randomly hit me up one day on Instagram, and she DM'd me and she was like, "Hey girl, can you like do my hair? I like the way you install your wigs or whatever. So like, can you do my hair?" Mind you, y'all know I can slay. Y'all see my hair now. Y'all know I can really slay a unit. Like I know how to do my own hair. But when it comes to other people's hair, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not professional. Let's just say that. So I was a little hesitant because I'm like, I don't want to mess your hair up. Like I don't want to make you look crazy. So like, I don't know. So I ended up telling Fanboy, I'm like, yeah, I don't do hair, but like it may not be perfect. I can do it. Type like vibe. So I told her, and I don't know, did I charge her? Let me go to our DMs because I really don't want to lie. Did I charge this girl? I hope I didn't charge her because if I charge her, that's crazy. Like, and Fanboy, to be honest with you, Fanboy, it's really no love lost. I mess with you, but you kind of like, and we will get into Fanboy a little bit more in part 2. But right now, this video is about the whole group. So pretty much she said like, what's a good time and day for me and how much do I want for it? And I literally disregarded the whole how much you want for it. And I just said, where are you located? Because I get out of class around 3 o'clock and then I should be free. I didn't say anything about no payment or nothing like that. She offered to pay, but I don't think I ever ended up making her pay, okay? I'm a girl's girl, so I wasn't gonna charge her because it's like, girl, I'm not a professional. I'm not a hairstylist. What do I look like charging you? You know, that's just me. So boom, fast forward, we exchanged numbers. The date is set for me to reinstall her wig, fix it up for her, right? So the date comes, I'm a little nervous because me, the type of person I am, I've always, since I was a little girl, like I've always dealt with weird energy from like females. I'm not gonna lie. Literally since I was in 4th grade, not even, probably before that, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. Since I probably was in 1st grade, I dealt with like people just not liking me just because they don't like me, just because of who I am. So in my head, I kind of was a little nervous just about linking up with new girls because like, you know, I just kind of like low-key had PTSD. Let's just call it for what it is. So I was like scared, but I was like, okay, like let me try to get out my comfort zone. Let's do her hair and see where it goes, right? So we end up meeting up, right? And this is where Chum Chum comes into play. So I'm driving. I pull up to the location where we meet at, which happens to be Clark's campus. So immediately, when I get out the car, I just see this little thing, like super pretty. And I was like, oh my God, hey. So I was just like, hey, what's up? And immediately, like I have discernment, something I'm working through, I'm learning now, given this story time, that I need to actually use my discernment. That's something that in the past, I haven't really taken advantage of. Given that I have discernment, you have to use your discernment. Like you can't just say you have discernment and then ignore the discernment that God is sending you. You know what I'm saying? And I would like ignore little red flags. So immediately I got this energy from Fanboy. I don't know what it was, but I just felt it. I was like, hey, like y'all know me, like I have a big bubbly personality. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, what's up? Like, and she's just like, hey, like, you know, like kind of like a little standoffish. She was just like, hey, and gave me like this little side hug. And I was like, okay, like that's a little weird, but okay. So boom, I meet with Fanboy, right? And as we're walking into the dorm, because y'all, mind you, I didn't know Fanboy enough to invite her to my place or for me to go over her place. So that's why we ended up meeting on Clark's campus in Chum Chum's dorm, okay? Y'all follow me? So this is where I meet Chum Chum. So pretty much I met Chum Chum through Fanboy. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, when I first met, and mind you, so this is how it went. So I said, hey girl, like she's like, hey, like gave me a side hug. And I was like, okay, like she's not really matching my energy how she was in the text messages, but okay, whatever, like cool, like, you know, I'm not gonna judge you for it, right? So we're walking, me and Fanboy, and then I see Chum Chum come out. So Chum Chum is coming out to greet us, to like let us into her dorm building or whatever. So I messed with Chum Chum though, because Chum Chum was like, hey, what's up? I think they have a video. Oh my gosh, actually I really hope I have this video, because if I have this video I'm gonna insert it. But Chum Chum was literally like vlogging. So yeah, like we're walking into the dorm and Chum Chum is vlogging. So she's like, hey, what's up? But I don't think she was doing that to me. Like I think she was doing that to Fanboy, because like that's her friend, and like, you know, like this is my first time meeting her. So they're like, hey, let's stop, get into the vlog or whatever. And I'm just in the back like, hey, I like her energy. Like that's the energy that I'm on. But like she didn't say anything to me. Like it was just her and Fanboy in the camera, and I was just in the back like, period, go y'all. So Fanboy didn't even introduce us like formally at all. And I was like, hey, I'm Jalen, like what's your name? Like I introduced myself. So I'm like, hey, like what's your name? I'm Jalen. We meet, and I'm not gonna lie, I messed with Chum Chum's vibe a little bit more than Fanboy, because she kind of had that energy, you know. And there's nothing wrong with like you not matching my energy for the most part, because people have their days. But I was just like, okay, she's cool. Like, so that's when me and Chum Chum are kind of like vibing a little bit more than me and Fanboy, low key, y'all. So we go up to the dorm or whatever, and I start doing Fanboy's hair, and Chum Chum's in there with a couple of other friends, I believe. And we all just start talking, y'all. Like we just start venting, talking about life. We're just talking about college, just life pretty much. So we venting. I'm telling them my whole life story. They telling me their whole life story. And I'm like, whoa, we can really do this. Like this is cool. Like we're gonna be vibing. We already told each other what we don't like and what we like, so like we gonna be good, right? So boom, in the beginning, y'all, everything went great. Literally after that dance, like we instantly clicked. Me, Fanboy, and Chum Chum would literally hang out every single day. When I tell you, it was club, party, club, another club, brunch. Like we was literally outside every single day. This story time took place a year or two ago, but it just recently kind of ended. Yeah, but we gonna get to that in part 2. So yeah, like we was literally vibing, like everything was good, everything was great. But I want you guys to keep in mind how like it was kind of like them and then me just in the background. Fanboy and Chum Chum knew each other well before they knew me, you know, so like they were friends. And I also want to know, maybe don't pick friends like that, but at the same time I'm not going to hold everybody to that standard, because everyone's not weird. I have not lost hope. I know that I will find my people. But low key though, keep in mind that if you are making new friends, if they're already linked up and clicked up and you just coming in, it might not work out. Now I'm not saying that it won't work out at all, because I do believe that it can, but 50% of the time it might not work out, you know. So I've noticed that Fanboy and Chum Chum would always be talking, and I would try to put my input, and they would kind of like disregard me. Like I I wasn't there, like type like vibe. And I didn't really take it personal until we got like closer and we started really like actually becoming friends, you know, and I voiced my opinion, but we're gonna get there. But one of the first red flags that I do want to get into was one day I remember that we were hanging out. It was a late night, okay? And I am delivered now. I really don't do the things that I used to do, like party and go outside and stuff like that. So keep that in mind while you're listening to this story. This is the old Jay. So yeah, I just remember one time, I think this was actually before Fanboy even had a car. And I don't think Chum Chum had a car either, or at least it wasn't there, like in Atlanta type like vibe. So I was the only one with the car at that time, right? So whenever we would hang out, it would be me driving. I would be driving. I would not ask these girls for gas money because that's not the type of friend I was. But then I know, oh, it's so much, y'all. It's so much. I mean, I'm gonna say it now, but it's so much. I noticed that when Fanboy got her car, she would be the type to like ask people for gas money and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I never asked y'all for gas money, but since you want to ask for gas money, we gonna ask for gas money, okay? But whatever, that's just a side note. So one of the red flags, I remember it was one night we were outside, we were out partying pretty much. I wouldn't lie to y'all, we were out partying. And I remember they were getting so like drunk. They were getting so drunk. And this, I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not judging because I was around it. And even in that, like, it's like they were cool, but they would like leave me out. But yeah, so I remember one day I picked everybody up or whatever. I'm driving. I think this was around the time that I just got my new car. And I just remember like I told them, just respect my car and we will be good. Like just respect my car. Like just treat this as it's yours, right? So I remember we out partying. We all get out the car, mind you. It's not just me, Fanboy, and Chum Chum. Fanboy and Chum Chum will bring a whole posse with them and it will be like, I have 5 seats. How are y'all all gonna fit in my car? So it was me, Fanboy, and Chum Chum, and maybe 2 or 3 other girls. I don't really remember. But we left my car and I had to go back to my car to get something, y'all. And I just remember when I opened the back seat of my car, mind you, pink interior, nice luxury car. All I see is just garbage and like food and like sour cream just all in the back seat of my car. And I'm just like, I'm literally looking at it like, what's going on? What is this?
If 2 + 2 is 4 and 5 + 5 is 10, okay, what the is this? I didn't see.
So I'm telling them, I'm like, y'all, like, what is this in the back of my car? That was the first time I remember actually getting irritated with them. But it's like, it's cool, you know, human, period. I be trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it did piss me off. Let's be honest. It pissed me off a little bit. So I'm like, I told y'all to respect my car. What's this in the back of my car? Like, what is this? Mind you, they're all drunk. I wasn't. So I was like, y'all, like, help me clean this up, do something. They literally was just standing there watching while I cleaned out my car. I don't know, I think someone had Chipotle and like their bowl spilled and they just didn't clean it up. And it bothered me because this Chipotle looked like it was sitting in my car for a cute hour or two because we were driving around, like going to different locations, and I just didn't know that there was a whole spilled Chipotle bowl in the back of my car. But when I came back to my car to look for something and I saw it, I was like, oh, this is what we doing. Okay, cool, whatever. So they literally did not help me clean it up. I remember cleaning it out myself. They just being drunk, standing there like, and I'm just like irritated because like I don't know what's going on, but whatever, cool. That was just like kind of the first red flag. Like y'all did this mess and y'all just sat there and watched me. Like after that, y'all, I was like, okay, where y'all going? Because everybody going home. The night's over, y'all getting too drunk and y'all acting too wild woo woo, and I just don't have time for it. Like, so next day, everyone's sober, I guess. So they like,
oh, we're sorry or whatever. Like we didn't mean to do that.
Whatever. I brushed it off. Again, do not brush. I'm not saying like beat people up for spilling stuff in your car, but I'm just saying like when people show you who they are, believe them. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't care how drunk I was. If I spilled something in someone's car, I would have cleaned it. That's just me. But whatever. And then there was the fact that it was a whole flipped over Chipotle bowl with sour cream and everything. And I was just like, bro, like this is irritating. So boom. So after that, we would just hang out every single day. Like y'all, it literally was no day that we didn't hang out. Like every single day, Fanboy would text in our little friend group chat and be like, top of the morning, what's the move? What are we doing? We going outside or we staying in the house today? Like that's just how our friendship was at that time. And yeah, everything was pretty smooth sailing for the most part, except for like the part where they were like leave me out, but I didn't say anything about that until later, which we about to get into. So y'all, we hanging out every day, everything going good, and I just remember Miami spring break is starting to roll around or whatever, right? So I'm talking to Fanboy and Chum Chum and I'm like, y'all, what we doing for Miami spring break? I'm trying to go to Miami, get some content, like what we doing? So Fanboy was all down for the ride. She was like, yes, let's do it, just tell me the number, you know what I'm saying? Chum Chum was like, yeah, let's do it, but then she ended up pretty much canceling on us. She was like, I'm not gonna be able to come come, which is cool, which is okay. So me and Fanboy end up going to Miami for spring break, but it wasn't just us. I also brought all of my other friends. I brought my Morehouse friends, my Georgia State friends, and we all went to Miami, y'all. This Miami trip was really a horror story in itself. I can literally do a whole story time on it, but like, I'm trying to really be nice. But just to say the least of it, y'all, my Morehouse friends, they actually paid for everything, like our hotel pretty much. Like, we didn't have to worry about where we were gonna lay our heads at, because Morehouse brothers, that's what they're for. Like, they love me. So like, anybody else that's with me, like, y'all gonna be taken care of. So they paid for the rooms or whatever. It was a nice hotel. So yeah, all we had to worry about was how we were gonna get down there.
I say all that to say, in my opinion, it seemed like the girls were kind of ungrateful. They weren't really appreciative. Like, y'all, they literally got us our own room. They got the girls our own room, and it was a nice big room. And my Morehouse brothers got their own separate room. So yeah, when it came down to it, at the end, the girls ended up smoking in the freaking hotel room, which we weren't supposed to do. The hotel charged us a fee, and I remember when my Morehouse brothers brought that to my attention, I was like, oh shoot, like, y'all, what we finna do? And they was like,
Shoot, I'm not paying for nothing. Like, I'm not doing that.
when they literally were the ones that smoked in the room. And it was just like, bro. So I had to pay the freaking fee by myself, and I was like, child.
We ended up driving Fanboy's car down there. We all just split it up. Everything was cool. It really wasn't cool. I'm just trying to tread lightly. It was a lot of things that was pissing me off, but it's cool. But y'all, to say the least about this Miami spring break trip, everyone was butting heads. Everyone was getting to it, well, except for me
And my Morehouse brothers.
Like, my Georgia State friend at the time was about to fight Fanboy. It was so much going on, and I'm in the middle trying to de-escalate the situation. Long story short, y'all, it was just a lot. Whatever, that's cool. There's so much, y'all, that happened on that Miami trip. I actually think I'm going to make a Miami trip horror story time, but let's fast forward, okay? So Miami's over. It was a couple red flags from her, but I'm just gonna get into that in like the Miami horror story time that I do. But yeah, so we get back from Miami, right? So it's me, Fanboy, and Chum Chum again. We hanging out again. It's party club. We went to this pool party one day, and I actually ended up seeing
This girl I used to be friends with in high school.
there, and like, nothing happened, which is so crazy because you would think of somebody doing all this on the internet, like when they see you, like they would want to, you know, do something, but like they actually gave very much trying to keep the peace. And I was like, interesting. But that's just like a side note. I ended up seeing her at one of the parties that me, Fanboy, and Chum Chum were at, and it was just crazy because it's like nobody did nothing, which is cool, great. It was given too stunned to speak. I digress. A lot of stuff be for the internet. Y'all don't be clocking it, but I'ma clock it. But yeah, like, y'all, I wouldn't lie. Eventually, the whole partying every day, the whole going out every single day started to wear on my little body. And y'all, as we're hanging out, I started to notice even more. When I was with Fanboy and Chum Chum, I kind of was just there. I remember Fanboy ended up getting her first car or whatever. And like I said earlier, when she got her car, things was different. Like, Fanboy was like,
Y'all got gas money? My car. Need this. This my
like, you know, she kind of was that type of friend. I started to just notice certain things about Fanboy, and I kind of was like,
Funny. Yes, but not funny, haha. Funny, weird.
I don't know, she might not be my cup of tea, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, and I really don't want to find out, so I'm gonna just distance myself, right?
For example,
We were sitting in Fanboy's car or whatever, y'all, right? We were just chilling or whatever. Fanboy will be in the driver's seat, Chum Chum will be in the passenger seat, I would be in the back, and they would just be talking up a storm, right? And I know y'all probably like, okay, girl, insert it, like, say something, like, but you're right. So I would try to do that. Like, I would be like, yeah, y'all, like, I would try to insert myself into the conversation, talk to them, you know, make it a conversation and not a thing of y'all just talking. Like, for example, Fanboy, she would be talking to Chum Chum and be like,
oh girl, like, remember when we did this, or remember when we did that, remember when we did that, oh you remember such and such, oh you remember
like that, and like they would talk about that, and like I just met them, so like I wasn't really like in the loop too much, but like you would think like if we all supposed to be a friend group, like they would turn around and be like, oh yeah, Jay, you wasn't there, let me tell you, like, you know, turn, but like no, like they would just be like this talking to each other, and I would just be there, and it didn't bother me at first, like I said, but it started to bother me once it became like a repetitive thing. I noticed that every time we hung out, it was, I don't know if they were doing it on purpose, but I started to notice it, right? They're kind of excluding me and leaving me out, right? So that was one of the reasons I started to distance myself as well, because they were leaving me out. It didn't really feel like friend. It was given, I'm just there. And two, all we would do when we would hang out was literally party, drink, smoke, like do all of that. I feel like God was just pulling me out of that life, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't do none of that no more. So it's like that was like my transitioning season. I just started to distance myself a little bit because I'm noticing that why every time we hang out I'm sinning? Why every time we hang out I'm sinning, but I'm being left out in the sin? It's like, nah, but for real though, like it was no business conversation. It was no like, I don't know how to describe it, y'all. There's nothing wrong with having fun or whatever, but it's just like repetitive, like every day. Too much of anything is not good. So it's like it began to be like, I don't know, I just felt like it was no purpose in it, for real, for real. So I started to distance myself a little bit. They would call me and be like, can we come over? Can we do this? Can we do that? And I was just like I wouldn't answer. Like I ended up just distancing myself from Fanboy and Chum Chum. I didn't really say much to them. That low-key kind of is my toxic trait that I learned about myself. When I start to feel a little disassociated, I kind of remove myself, which isn't okay, but can be just a form of you protecting your peace. That's my defense. But from the outside looking in, it could be like looked at as like weird or whatever. So it's like, I don't know. But I wasn't like beefing with them or nothing, but I just distanced myself. So I just remember distancing myself. I stopped really texting in the group chat or whatever, because I already really felt like they was leaving me out. That's really just how it was, y'all. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting. I'm so sorry if the story time is all over the place, you guys. Remember how I told you guys how when I first met Fanboy, it was like this weird energy about her? I don't know how to describe it. Fanboy would always just stare at me. Like she would just like stare. And I would be like, ladies, if you have a friend that just stares at you, run. Because that's weird. Like, I don't know, like maybe say something. Like, don't just stare. It would not be followed by a compliment or anything. And if it was followed by a compliment, it would be a backhanded compliment. Like, oh, your hair look cute today. Your outfit cute today. Mind y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not even trying to be funny or nothing. Like, I looked up to par every single day. That's just how I am. I like to make sure that when I'm leaving the house, I'm presentable. However, Chum Chum and Fanboy, they would come out the house with a bonnet. You didn't even wipe your eyes. Did you brush your teeth?
Not every time, y'all. Let me make this clear. Like, not every single day, but for the most part, like most of the time, I will be the only one that's like presentable. Like, laces was lifting, hair wasn't even brushed. So like the backhanded compliments would throw me off, because it's like I actually look.
Wait a minute.
Like, you know, it just started to like, and me being a friend, I would literally try to help them. I would be like, girl, fix your hair. Do you want me to do your hair? Do you want me to install a wig? Like, what do you want me to do? I'm not saying I judge people based off their appearance or anything like that, but those are just all of the factors that made me just distance myself for real from the group. I just noticed that. So like, yeah, that's just one thing about Fanboy. Like, she will always just stare at me. It's like, are you admiring me or are you like envious? Like, I don't, that's something that kind of had me like. But with Chum Chum, one thing about Chum Chum, she would always ride for Fanboy. Like, they were like two peas in a pod. No one could have told me that they would have ever split up. So like, me in my head, I automatically just placed them together. And that's kind of bad on my part. Probably shouldn't have done that. But like, I say all that to say, Chum Chum was a follower. I'm really trying to be nice, but like, Chum Chum was a follower. That's the type of person she was at that time. I hope that she changed and grew. But she kind of was a follower. Like, anything Fanboy did, she followed. And it's like, that's where I just kind of had to like remove myself, because I'm just not a follower. So I distanced myself. I don't think the group really was like impacted by my absence. And I just remember one day, like, I'm in my journey, like, you know, I'm getting closer to God. Like, I'm kind of like really just loosening my grip on sin for real, and just like that whole life. I'm chilling one day, y'all, right? I'm in my apartment at the time, and I just get a call from Chum Chum. And Chum Chum calls me, and she's kind of pretty much sneak dissing Fanboy. She calls me and she's like, hey girl, I don't know, I just really want to talk to you because I've been noticing a lot of stuff about Fanboy that's just not sitting right with me. And when she told me this, I was like, is this a setup? Like, are they trying to set me? Like, are they trying to catch me? Like, I don't know, y'all. So as soon as she says that, I was like, I said, for real? Because I feel the same exact way. Like, I kind of really distanced myself from both of y'all, but I couldn't really tell you because I felt like, you know, you kind of like, you know, follow behind her. Like, everything that she does, you're going to stand beside. So I just put both of y'all together, and I kind of like distanced myself from both of y'all. You know, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, because it's giving Chum Chum would follow Fanboy. So it's like, if you following her, anything she do, you gonna do. So y'all just together, like y'all are one. I'ma just remove myself type like vibe. So she's telling me all this. She's like, certain stuff that she's been doing just hasn't been sitting right with me. So when she's saying all this, I'm like, well, can we add her to the call so we can tell her? Like, because like, I'm not gonna just sit and talk about this girl, right? So after Chum Chum ends up venting everything to me, she ended up adding her friend to the call. Now this is where another character will enter the story. What are we gonna call her? We're just gonna call her B More. So before I can even get a chance to add Fanboy to the call, Chum Chum is adding adding B More to the call, and B More's pretty much adding her 2 cents, like just pretty much talking about Fanboy. And I was like, okay, y'all, I understand how y'all feel, and I understand where y'all coming from, and I low-key feel the same way. However, let's add Fanboy to this FaceTime call because I'm not gonna sit here and just talk about her, you know? So after they finished ranting, another thing, I couldn't really talk to either Chum Chum or Fanboy because I noticed that when I would talk, they wouldn't really listen. Like, they would cut me off and they would just be like, are you listening to me? You know, like, you just know when you talking to somebody and they not really listening. That's another reason why I just distanced myself. It's just like, y'all not even listening to me. Like, what am I here for? So I ended up adding Fanboy into the chat, and I'm very nice about it. Like, that's one thing about me. I don't care how bad somebody treats me. I'ma still be respectful for the most part, because some people got me messed up. But yeah, so like, I decided to add Fanboy to the chat, and I'm like, hey Fanboy, so we were just sitting here talking. Oh, I've said her name. Chum Chum just called me, and she pretty much feels like this, that, and the third. And then B More starts adding her 2 cents in. She kind of cut me off, and I'm like, let's slow down, ladies, because I understand from Fanboy's point of view, it just looks like we are all coming at her. So I'm like, okay, y'all, because the way B More came in, I don't know if y'all know, but people from Baltimore, they are very aggressive. Sometimes, like, they can come off very rude and very mean. So when she just cut me off and said, yeah, you do this, you do that, and it's weird, I'm just like, slow it down when you come around. So I'm like, yeah, slow down. Let's not come at her because, like, you know, we gotta hear her point of view too. So Fanboy ends up saying, dang, like, I didn't know y'all felt like this, but thank y'all for telling me. I really didn't know those things about myself, and I'm glad y'all told me because that's gonna help me become a better person, pretty much. Mind you, it was so much more said. I'm just shortening the conversation for the sake of this video. But like, yeah, long story short, Chum Chum and B More were straight coming for her. And I'm like, well, you know, like, I'm kind of a peacemaker. I'm like, well, y'all, like, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Mind y'all, I really understand where everyone was coming from because it's like, you know, people all have their tendencies. People can be weird in some areas and some people can be less weird in some areas, but majority of the part, everybody be weird. Okay. So it's like, I was just trying to be nice about it. So the conclusion of that conversation was that we were all just going to separate and go our separate ways and kind of just like figure out ourselves. So, but I will be honest with y'all, I definitely still kept talking to Chum Chum because Chum Chum didn't give me those same red flags that Fanboy gave me. With Chum Chum, at least it felt like she was more genuine, like she matched my energy, like that's how it felt for that time. But that didn't turn out to be the case. So yeah, like I said, we all kind of separated, but me and Chum Chum kept in communication. I didn't really talk to Fanboy as much. I really just wanted her to grow and like learn herself because she really kind of like wasn't a really good friend and like still isn't, but like we're gonna get into that into part 2. But I was just like giving her time to like figure herself out because it was a lot of stuff that she would do, stare at me and like give me weird looks, and like, I don't know, I just felt the energy, it wasn't genuine. So I was like, I'm gonna let her figure herself out, and hopefully like in a couple months she would learn how to be like a better friend. I don't know. But as far as Chum Chum, she didn't really give me too many red flags.
Besides the fact that she would follow Fanboy, which keep in mind because she started following B More shortly after. We finna get into it. But
so I was like, we gonna be cool, but like as soon as she showed me like some red flags, like Fanboy, she's done. Like, you know, that wasn't my intention, y'all. I wasn't really thinking that, but I was just like, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, right?
Wrong, y'all. Please do not do that. Like, for real, if you notice something about somebody that may not be your cup of tea, just save both their and your time and just remove yourself. You know, like, don't stick around and try to see how things are going to play out because you already know how things are going to play out if you feel that way, you know?
So time goes on, time goes on. I remember one day, Chum Chum and B More, they start blowing up my phone again. They blowing up my phone, but mind you, it's not just them. My Morehouse friends, we bringing them back up. I introduced my Morehouse friends to B More, Chum Chum, Fanboy. I introduced my friends to them. They were friends. They met through me, type like vibe. I think they had like a whole group chat on the side. That's how much I was out of the loop. When I say they, I mean my Morehouse friends. Y'all know them. They've been in my videos. We cool. B More and Chum Chum. And I think Chum Chum's cousin. Like, so they blowing up my phone. I think it was like 8, 9 o'clock at night around this time. They're blowing up my phone, and like, I'm that type of friend that you don't have to talk to me every day for us to be friends. You don't have to be up my butt top of the morning, what we doing every single day. So like when they call me, I kind of a little hesitant to answer because I'm like, what they want, like, you know, like that's how I am. So I answer, I'm like, what do y'all want from me? Like, literally, what y'all want from me? And they're like, oh, we trying to hang out. Please, JJ, please. Like, they're literally begging me to hang out with them.
Just come out with us, like you haven't been out with us in a while.
Come out. And I was like, okay, like I'll come out with y'all just this once. Like, I'll come out with y'all because y'all, for real, I really didn't want to be in that environment. Party, club, like I didn't want to be in that environment. That's really not the type of person I am. I just can't get with it. So that's really why I distanced myself from like people, for real, because like that's all people would want to do here in Atlanta. So I'm just like, what we doing though? So So they're like, okay, we can go to such and such, this little place. I think it's this place in Midtown. I forget what it's called. Oh, Pont City Market. So they were like, we're gonna go to Pont City Market, meet us there, this, that, and that. So I'm like, okay, so I'm starting to get excited. I'm like, okay, I haven't been out in a minute. Like, let's do it. Like, what y'all wearing? Who all coming? So they telling me there's gonna be Chum Chum, it's gonna be B-More, my Morehouse friends, which is 2 of them, and then it's also gonna be Chum Chum's cousins, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, what y'all wearing? Like, what's the vibe? Is it chill? Like, what we doing? So they're like, oh, I'm wearing this, I'm wearing that. Mind y'all, we are all in a group FaceTime. Like, this is plans. Like, we are doing this. I'm like, okay, what time y'all leaving out? What we doing? What we doing? What we doing? So we're all like, okay, we're gonna get ready, and then like we'll call each other when everybody's ready, and then we'll go from there, right? So as I'm getting ready, I'm getting all cute. I'm actually getting excited. I'm like, yeah. I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out here with my friends, like, you know, see how this goes. So as I'm getting ready, I FaceTime Chum Chum, and I'm like, girl, are you ready? Like, what's the plan? Do you need me to pick you up? Where are you? Like, what's it giving? So Chum Chum's like, girl, I don't know now, because she said something like,
She said something, y'all, but she really wasn't telling me why she couldn't come all of a sudden, for real, you know? So I'm like, girl, I ain't gonna lie. If you don't go, I'm not going. Like,
I couldn't picture me being with Chum Chum's cousin and Chum Chum's friend B-More without her, you know? I don't know, I just didn't want it to be awkward, so I'm literally begging Chum Chum. I'm like, Chum Chum, please, like, please, just come. I'm begging her to come, because it's like, y'all just begged me to come, I'm ready, and now you trying to back out. Like, stop playing. So boom, Chum Chum's like, okay, you're right. I'm gonna call you right back. So I'm finishing up, getting ready or whatever.
Under the impression that Chum Chum is coming, because she just told me, like, you know, like, I'm right, like, you know. So why Chum Chum end up texting me? She texted me, but I was getting ready, so I didn't see it. But the only part that I saw was Mom. And then shortly after that, she unsent the message. And I was just like, why she unsent the message? Then she ended up telling me through the text, like, I'm not gonna lie, Jay, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I was just confused, like, she wasn't telling me why she couldn't come, but I saw Mom before she unsent the message. But y'all finna see, it's all finna make sense.
That was just like weird to me, because like, y'all begged me to come. I get ready, and you telling me you're not coming? Whatever, not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. So boom, I'm finna leave out the house. And why B-More calls my phone? Mind you, B-More don't call my phone. So like, I kind of was staring at it like, I eventually pick up, of course, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, are you on your way there? So she's like,
Girl, can I come over to your house? Because
she's like, Chum Chum is saying that she don't know if she's gonna be able to come. Her mom is saying this and her mom is saying that. Mind y'all, that was news to me.
But it started to make sense, because I'm like, that's why she unsent the mom message. Like, I didn't know what she said, but I just saw the word mom and I was like, huh? And she unsent it. But it's given she didn't want me to know, like, her mom said she couldn't hang out like late at night. Like, that's really what it was given, but I don't know. That's just my speculation, because she unsent the message and I was like, oh, so that's what it is. Girl, you could have just told me Mama Duke said you can't be outside at night. Like, what I'm gonna say? Like, what I'm gonna make fun of you because you can't come outside after a certain time? Like you have to unsend the message, girl. Come on.
And I was just confused. Like, I didn't understand it. So yeah, y'all, when B-More calling my phone talking about some, can I come over and this, that, and third, mind y'all, side note, I'm very protective of my space and who I let in my home. So when she said that, I was like, you cannot come over, friend. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But like, you can't come over. Where y'all at? What we doing? Are y'all on the way? And she's like, okay, cool. Your Morehouse brothers, they're in a meeting right now. I'm pretty much just waiting for them to get out the meeting so we could all link up. And I'm like, a meeting?
I don't know. It was given very much like, why does everybody know what's going on but me? Like,
I was so confused. It was so much news getting thrown at me at once. I was like, why did y'all call me and make me get ready? For all of a sudden when I'm ready, something's coming up for everybody. I was confused. So I'm calling my Morehouse brothers and stuff, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? What's the vibe? What are we doing? And they're like, we on the way, girl. Just hurry up and come. Like, we waiting on you. Like, type like energy. So I literally get in my car and I pull up to the location, y'all, that we were all supposed to meet up at, and nobody's there. I literally got stood up by my friends. I was actually upset at my Morehouse brothers for a long time for that, because it's like, why are y'all playing with my time? Like, the one time that I agreed to come out with y'all, this is what y'all do. So I was definitely a little triggered. I don't know, y'all. I just felt like that situation was a little weird. Y'all tell me, maybe I'm over exaggerating, maybe I'm doing too much, but it's like, y'all literally begged me to come out, and then once I'm ready, everyone's coming up with excuses. But the thing that bothered me the most is the fact that y'all let me waste my gas and pull up. Y'all didn't tell me like, oh, we in a meeting, like we running late. Y'all didn't tell me nothing. Like, everyone was kicking it like they were there and they were on their way there at least. So when I get there and nobody's there, I was shocked and confused. I'm texting, calling everybody. They literally stopped answering me, y'all. B-More stopped answering me. Chum Chum already wasn't coming, so I was like, okay, whatever. And my Morehouse brothers stopped answering me, and I'm like, what? Did I just get stood up? What's it giving? Is it giving setup? Did I just almost get set up? Like, are y'all trying to set me up? But yeah, what the story is, they had me kind of messed up. They pretty much stood me up. Like, I stood up by my friends, which is okay. Damn, it's really not. why I keep saying it's okay. It's really not. But yeah, so after that, I really distanced myself for real. I was like, y'all had one chance to really like pull through, and y'all didn't. Like, y'all didn't, but cool, whatever. Not tripping. But we was still cool. Like, I wasn't really holding that against them. I'm really playing for the video, but like, I really wasn't tripping, like, for real, but it did bother me, I'll be honest. Everything was cool, but then one day, you know, rapper Jay got unlocked. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. About like in December, I decided to like become a rapper.
All these hating cause I'm princess, I ain't poppin' P. All these waiting trying to touch me like I'm property. And what's the conversation? Tell my money, I need my degree. Say she my friend, can't be my friend, you ain't never with me. All these crazy in the head, living rent free. All these lazy in the bed, still can't get up with me. Talking about dollars, got 1,200 on my feet. I'm lit like my father, got rich blood, it's in my jeans. They keep playing catch up, smell like mustard, can't catch up to me. I just walked that little like a dog and put her on the leash.
It was called Frenemies, y'all. I deleted it off my page. I might put it back up just so y'all can see like the growth. But I really deleted it from my page because my J-Babies was clocking my tea and they were saying like, we don't see the Christian girl from this. Like, all you doing is cussing and all this, all that. Which I needed that because I really do need my people to hold me accountable. And when y'all clocked my tea, I was like, okay, like they have a point. Like, I can't do both. Like, you have to pick one. And I picked the Kingdom of God, and then I came out with my new and improved song called Yeshua.
I changed the vision, it got clearer. I'm trying to break the system. Gotta look within. Hold up your chin. Life's not a competition, so take the time to listen. I'm on a brand new mission, and I will follow him each in and every day.
Which was good, did well, but y'all not here for that. I decided to become a rapper for like a couple days, and I made this song, and it became time for me to record the music video for the song. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, dang, I done cut all my friends off. Like, I need some girls for this video. So I'm hitting everybody up. I gathered a couple of my Instagram friends and I invited them out to the shoot to pretty much just help come support me. So then I call up Chum Chum, right? So Chum Chum is back in the picture. I'm really trying to give Chum Chum a fair chance. So I go ahead and I invite Chum Chum, y'all. Worst mistake. I really should have never done that, like, honestly, but we're gonna get there. So I invite Chum Chum. I'm like, hey, so I'm having this video shoot. She's like, video shoot? Music video? You a rapper now? Like, oh, bye. It never gave. And I'm like, yeah, it gives. And the song is actually good too. So like, I can't wait for you to hear it. Type like energy, right? So she's like, okay, bet, I got you. I'm gonna bring everybody. Cousins, I'm gonna bring my homegirls. So I'm like, okay, bet. Bring the girls, because I really do need y'all. I need y'all to be lit in the background, like I need y'all, right? Video shoot time rolls around. This is where Chum Chum started to like show me the type of friend she was. So boom, ended up having the music video shoot later on in the day at nighttime. So Chum Chum's a YouTuber, right? And I'm a supportive friend. I had an extra camera that I didn't use. This was my first ever vlogging camera that I used back in high school, and I still had it, but I didn't use it anymore, and it still was good quality. So me being a good friend, knowing that Chum Chum does YouTube, I'm like, hey, actually, when you come to the video shoot, I'm gonna give you this camera because I've been telling you about this camera and like we just haven't linked up, we haven't like hung out for me to give it to you. So when you come to the video shoot, I'm gonna give you the camera, pretty much just invest in your business, like, you know, just like a little support, like, here's this free camera, you don't gotta give me nothing, I'm your friend, take the camera, it works, great quality, you can have it, right? And I've also brought like the battery pack, the charger, like she had the whole kit. That's what I brought with me to the video shoot. Keep that in mind, y'all. So Chum Chum pulls up. At this time, she did have a car, so she did get her car. I'm like, where you at, girl? She's like, I'm right here, but they saying it's $20 for parking. And me, I'm like, okay, like, pay the $20 and come support your friend. Like, what does that have to do with anything? She's like,
I don't know, like, I don't know, like.
so I'm like, I wanted everyone to be there so my video could be popping. But like, when she said that, I was like, so what are you saying? Like, you saying like, if you have to pay for parking, you finna leave? Like, what are you saying? And she's like,
Girl, I don't know, I'm not paying for parking, like.
and I was just kind of like thrown off by that because I don't know, I felt like everybody else found a way to like support me. Like, no one else called my phone and said, hey girl, parking is $20, what we doing? Like, nobody else called. Chum Chum was the only one that called me and was like, girl, parking $20. You ain't tell me about no $20. And I didn't even know parking was $20 because I didn't pay for no parking. I think she ended up parking in like a club area. I don't know who told her to do that, but she did. But whatever. She's saying that to me, and me being me, I'm like, girl, I'll pay for the parking. It is not that serious. Just come. But that's not even the weird part. So I ended up cash apping her the money for the freaking parking. I know y'all probably like, Jay, like, you already finna give this girl a free camera? Like, she complaining about parking. I know. Y'all know for my story times, I be giving people chances. Like, I be being nice. I don't know, which I gotta stop. Gotta put my foot down. But like, for real though, I end up paying for Chum Chum's parking. We go in and everyone's starting to like, you know, get ready for this music video shoot. Mind you, when I initially brought this music video shoot up to Chum Chum, I told her, y'all have to be in the video. Wear red and black.
So keep that in mind, y'all.
Y'all gonna be in the background anyway. It really doesn't matter what y'all have on, but for me, I just wanted everybody to kind of match, but it didn't quite work out like that, but whatever. So boom, so she pulls up, she comes upstairs. I got my videographer, he's prepping for the music video. She get upstairs, I'm like, here you go, girl. Like, I got your camera, I got the whole kit for you. Now you can start vlogging for real, like, you know, period, like, do your big one. And she's all like, thank you, like, I really appreciate this. She seems very, like, appreciative. You know, everything was cool, right? So y'all, the tree man was there, and why does Chum Chum walk up to the tree man and buy a whole chunk of freaking Mary Jane? And I'm sitting there like, you could buy Mary Jane, but you couldn't pay for parking to help support your friend that just gave you a free camera? Oh, okay. So yeah, I saw that and I peeped that and I was like, oh, okay, because like the tree was way more than $20. I'm confused. But whatever, because the vibes were still great. Like, me and Chum Chum were like having fun, just matching each other energy. And then all of a sudden, Chum Chum tells me, oh yeah, you know B-More's coming, right? And I was like, oh, for real? Like, I didn't know that. And mind you, I don't have a problem with B-More. She just was always a very aggressive person and kind of rude and kind of mean. And I don't do that play rude stuff. I don't do that play mean stuff, especially if I don't know you like that. So that was like the only red flag that I saw with B-More. So when I found out she was coming, I was like, oh, okay, period. The more the merrier. But in my head, I'm like, I really just hope she's not gonna come and be like weird and like mean and like B-More, pretty much. So whatever. Everyone starts arriving. Chum Chum's cousins come in the building. The energy was great. Like, when I tell y'all, everyone was vibing, everyone was matching my energy, like everyone was happy. You know, everything was going great, right? So B-More didn't show up until later. We're gonna get into that. So it's me and my friends, Chum Chum and her cousin. So we getting the scenes in, we recording the video. Nobody was complaining about being in the video. Nobody like made that an issue. So everyone's literally in the video. We getting scenes, we dancing, they in the background getting lit, and I'm rapping. I'm doing my 1, 2, 2, 2. That was an error, never again. But yeah, like, I'm doing my 1, 2, 2, 2. And out of nowhere, while we're in the middle of filming a scene, B-More comes in, and B-More literally, y'all, this B-More. Oh no, and like walks out, like. Mind you, we are in the middle of filming a scene. It's like she literally looked at us or looked at me. I don't know. Saw I was rapping and maybe she didn't like that it sounded good. I don't know. But she saw that and she just starts laughing and she walks off. Mind you, we're in the middle of a scene, so nobody said anything, but I peeped it. So I'm like, whatever. And what's the conversation? Talking about money. I need my degree. So the scene's done and everyone was good. And then we walking back into the venue or whatever to find like a different location for the next scene. And I noticed
as soon as everyone noticed B-More was in there, like everyone's energy changed, y'all. Like, not my two friends on the side, but everybody else's energy like shifted. I remember it was one scene that I was just in the scene by myself in front of a green screen or whatever, and all of the girls literally were just sitting on the side just staring at me. Like, they wasn't even hyping me up like, hey, like, period, this hard, Jay. Like, no, like, they were just sitting there staring at me, and then they became so loud and then they just started randomly laughing, and I was really confused because I was filming the scene, but I just saw from my peripheral eyes looking at me and then people laughing and then people just being loud, and I'm just like, if y'all gonna be loud, like, be loud because you hyping me up. Don't be loud because y'all laughing. Like, I don't know what, but it was definitely weird.
Ignoring the fact that she definitely just looked at me and laughed, but I'm like, hey girl, what's up? And she's like, hey Jay. Like, her energy just was not very friendly or welcoming. Like, it just was giving that negative person that's just hostile with everybody. She's like, hey Jay, what's up? Like, I didn't know you was rapping now. Like, B-More's energy just was, I don't know. But like I said earlier, Chum Chum is like a follower. So like, anyone she be around, she starts to follow them, and y'all gonna pick up what I'm putting down in a second. Because why, when everyone sees that B-More is there, when I say everyone, I mean Chum Chum and her cousins, because my friends, they didn't switch up on me. But as soon as B-More got there, the energy just shifted from positive, supportive friends to like, we don't want to be in your music video, this not giving. Like, that's what it was giving. Because as soon as she got there, like I said, she came in, she looked at me, she laughed, she walked out, the scene was over, I greet her, and she's like, hey, what's up? So I'm like, hey girl, you look good, like, you gonna be in the video? She's like, oh no, Jay, I did not come to be on no video, all this, all that. And I'm like, that's fine, but it's like, Chum Chum, I already told you what this is. I told you that anyone that you're inviting, they are not finna just be on the sideline just watching. They need to get in the video. And my thing is, being in the video for them, all it meant was being in the background like this, dancing, like, you know. So when she said, I'm not trying to get in the video. I'm like, why did you come if you're not gonna be in my video? Type like that. So I pretty much had to beg her to get into one scene, y'all. She was literally in one scene. So yeah, y'all, I just remember having to beg her to be in my video, and to add, Chum Chum's energy shifted so bad. She went from to, like, I kid y'all not, I wish I was making this up, because I remember it was the final scene. We weren't even there for an hour, y'all. Chum Chum's cousins, as soon as B-More came in, they like, oh, they like, I ain't gonna lie, like, we not trying to be in no more scenes or whatever, which is okay, but my thing is, y'all, like, the whole point of y'all being there is for y'all to be in the background just dancing. It's not like the camera was in y'all face or nothing like that. To each his own, right? I did notice how, like, as soon as B-More came in, everyone energy shifted, especially Chum Chum. She stopped matching my energy, and I was like, what happened, y'all? Because I vividly remember us being on the last scene. In the last scene, this is where B-More decides to jump in the scene. She finally agreed, and I was like, thank you. Like, I just need a little filler. Like, all y'all need to do is just dance in the back. Just support. It's not that hard. So I just remember my videographer, he's like, all right, y'all, last one. We need the energy to be pumping. We need y'all to be lit. Like, this the last one. This the last one. Let's make it our best. And I'm like, yes, y'all, like, let's make it our best. Like, period. Like, and my two friends that's actually being supportive, they're like, period, like, period. And I remember looking at Chum Chum, and I'm like, period, girl. Like, you ready, girl? Trying to give her a high five or whatever. And she literally was like, and I literally got scared, like, in my heart, because I'm like, what'd I do to you? Like, why is she not smiling no more? Like, what just happened? Like, I was so confused. I don't know, y'all. It went from supportive to like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't know, you guys. I just remember feeling that energy and receiving it and taking it all in. And I was like, yeah, you're weird too. Like, that's when it clicked for me that, like, yeah, y'all weird. So the last scene is finished, we wrapping it up or whatever, and I just vividly remember Chum Chum looking at me like that, and I will never forget the way she looked at me, because if I'm sitting here smiling like, yes, y'all, last one, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and I look over to you and I'm like, yeah, you ready, girl? You straight ignore me, and you just like, I literally turned back around and I was like, okay, and then boom, that's when we got into the last scene. So I'm like, okay, whatever, like, that was weird. I literally had to beg y'all to get in my video after B-More showed up, and I don't understand that. It was weird, like, I don't know. But we finished, y'all. The videographer was like, all right, y'all, it's a wrap, y'all did good, stay tuned for the video, whatever. Mind you, the only people that actually like really supported was my two friends that I invited myself. They was like, Jay, this is actually good, like, I didn't know you could rap, like, this is good. Everybody else, it was giving kind of like dry hate, like, I don't know, I'm not a rapper or nothing, but I was just dipping in my fingers in the water, and it was a pretty good song, especially for it to be my first song. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, after that, I walked off to like look at the videos with my videographer, and everyone just leaves. Chum Chum leave, B-More leave, Chum Chum's cousins leave. All of them just leave without saying anything. Nobody said bye, Jay, like, you did good, like, nothing. Like, all of them just left. And I don't know, for me, that was like the cherry on top. I was like, y'all all just like left and didn't say anything. I just paid for your parking, gave you a camera, and then when your friend get here, you just switched and you acting weird. I was like, oh no, this is not the friend group for me. So when that happened, y'all, I smooth cut Chum Chum off. That is literally what did it for me, y'all. And after that, I was like, yeah, like, you're weird a little bit, like, you know? And all y'all is weird a little bit, you know? And I'm not knocking y'all for it, but y'all just can't be. I just don't need to be surrounded by that. So as I'm sitting here reflecting on everything, I'm sitting here thinking about this whole music video shoot. I'm like, yo, why was they acting like that? Like, what the freak just happened? You know, I'm sitting reflecting by myself, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Fanboy would have never acted like that. Fanboy would have at least supported, like, you know, or at least that's what I was thinking at that time. I noticed one flaw about myself that I'm working on. I be back and forth, like, in my head. One day I'll be like, okay, like, yeah, that's a real person, like, I'm gonna try to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then the next day I would be like, yeah, no. I'm indecisive when it comes to friendship. Like, I will peep something weird, try to ignore it, but then the next day it'll bother me so much to the point where I'm like, why did I ignore that? Why am I sitting in your face right now? Like, you got me messed up. And it's like, that's not good. Like, I definitely need to learn to actually voice your opinions and tell people like how you feel when you're feeling it, because when they run all over you and, you know what I'm saying, do what they do, you can't get mad at nobody but yourself because you allowed it, you know? And that's what I learned for real in that situation. But yeah, so as I'm pondering to myself, I'm like, Fanboy would have never done that. Let me hit up Fanboy and see if Fanboy grew since the last time I talked to her, and let's see if we can rekindle and be friends again and see how that's gonna go. Now y'all, that's where I'm gonna wrap up this video. I'm gonna make y'all wait for part 2 so we can dibble and dabble into Fanboy, because Fanboy is way worse. Like, it's so much, y'all, that took place. Like, part 1 was just kind of like the backstory, like the little stuff, but no, part 2, like, Fanboy started showing her butt a little bit, and Chum Chum We gonna get into chum chum. But yeah, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like it kind of may have been a little bit all over the place, but it's okay. I love y'all so much. Always remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, and that's just on that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for part 2. Let's get this video to 3 to 5K likes if y'all want part 2. Part 2 is really juicy, and this was really nothing. Like, y'all probably like, Jay, what's weird about it? What did they do that was weird? Just wait. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. I love y'all so much, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Ta-da!
They keep playing catch up, smell like mustard, can't catch up to me. I just walked that little like a dog and put her on the leash. Sneakingly